You ready?
There is a connection between the paranormal, UFOs, and the myths of ancient history. The clues are scattered across the landscape from a forbidden past, maybe even in your own backyard. There is a connection between the true nature of our reality, consciousness, and the unexplained. I'm Carl the Crusher. Let's explore the unknown. I'm actually at the UFO Disclosure Symposium up in Vernal, Utah right now, and this video is going live on my Carl the Crusher channel because I just walked off stage at the UFO Disclosure Symposium and did this very presentation where I revealed my up-to-date research at the Mystery at Magic Mesa research project. If you aren't aware of that, you can catch up with my previous video that I've uploaded on this channel, but don't worry, I'm going to go into way more depth and detail in this presentation, as well as cover a lot of interesting facts, background, and more depth into the project and where I'm going to go with it into the future. So buckle up. I'm going to be doing this presentation for almost a full hour, and we're going to go down the rabbit hole and explore all the different theories about the mystery at Magic Mesa. Just to bring you guys up to speed, on my YouTube channel, Carl the Crusher, over the last year, I have been going out and researching ancient petroglyphs and mysterious locations to try and piece together where they might point and what they might have to do with some of the strange phenomenon regarding UFOs, paranormal encounters as far as like orbs of light, entities of light, shadow figures, paranormal plasma shapes appearing, interdimensional portals, all kinds of stuff I was really fascinated with. So I thought, I'm a full-time YouTuber online, so I might as well, since I work from home, have the opportunity to go out and do it full-time for a living, to be able to go out and do some of this research. And living down in southern Utah, I'm able to go all over the area and investigate it. And when I'm a single dad at home, I also like to do custom remote control car builds with my kids, and I do a lot of fun stuff like that. So I also have a podcast on Carl Vibe on YouTube where I invite different guests on and we go into full depth about a lot of these different topics and all the variety from different angles. And so for those of you that are interested. But today what I'm going to be talking about is the mystery at Magic Mesa, which is a phenomenon that Paul Hynek helped me nickname the UFM, Unidentified Fluorescent Mesa phenomena, or we already have the UFO, UAP acronym. The UFM means, fluorescent phenomenal lights appearing on the side of a mountain or in the air or in front of you that seem to have supernatural appearances and interaction with the people that witness it. And that's exactly what occurred with me, and I got like over 30 minutes of footage of this on multiple repeat visits. And so we're going to get into a lot of that in our presentation tonight, so let's go ahead and jump right in full force. So what I filmed most of the footage that you're going to see tonight with is the Psionics Aurora Black night vision camera. It's a 720p night vision camera, full color digital, ultra low light infrared camera. Now, the normal human visible spectrum goes from 400 nanometers to 700 nanometers, the colors of the rainbow. And this night vision camera goes all the way up to 1100 nanometers into the thermal or infrared spectrum, just into that red bandwidth. I also had, aside from laser pointers, a REM pod, which is a directional temperature sensing device that's usually used in paranormal ghost hunting and things like that. But what I used it for was just to pull it out and test to see if there was any kind of anomalous energy in the area and to see if it could sense anything, and it definitely acted strange. I also went back on a different visit later and took this UV Beast 100 LED 18 watt 30-foot range black light to double check if it was bioluminescence or things like that that's glowing on the rocks. But don't worry, we're going to get into some more footage and show you a lot of the phenomenon and how it appeared and interact and what occurred. As far as the location of the Magic Mesa, it is in the region of southern Utah, It's northern Arizona, Nevada, that kind of area, but I don't want to get into specifics. This is a Google Earth image of the mesa from overhead, but we are keeping the location a secret to try and protect the research as well as the property owner's privacy. And there is a lot of involvement with Native American lands and trying to respect that. There is significant amount of Native American artifacts like pottery and ceremonial locations and sites at this spot, and so I will show you the evidence of that as well and how it all ties in and is directly correlated, I believe, to what we're seeing with the UFM phenomenon. The day and time that this was filmed mostly was April 30th to May 1st, so very recently, overnight, from the time 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. I also had repeat visits. I went back on May 6th alone, and other times alone, as well as a year's worth of daytime visits. There's 3 of us on the first night, as well as the maintenance guy had a dog with him as well. For those of you that are interested in the weather, it was, you know, between 70 to 80 degrees overnight. It got down to about 65, a little bit chilly, but what's really interesting is that the moon was completely blacked out. It was a waxing crescent, if you want to look that up, but it was a completely black moon, so there was no moonlight at all. It was really strange. And so I featured all of this as well. Paul Heineck helped me put together some of these slides as well as the night vision data. So I appreciate his help, as well as many of my other friends like Chris Bartell, Michelle Miners, Dave Fouch, other people who've helped me with this presentation. I appreciate it. This is also a picture of me in front of the mesa, and the phenomena also appeared very strange. Not only up on the mesa, for perspective, this is like to show the scale. You can see here's me in front of the mesa, so up behind me as the phenomenon appears, I just want you to keep in mind that at times this is, you know, sometimes 200 to 400, maybe 500 feet across, 200 feet tall. This is a large anomaly. It's not just something like small geometric shapes. It's very fascinating to see. So now we're going to look at some pictures now that you have a sense of the scale and the scope of this phenomenon and what's going on. We're going to go through some screenshots here of it and then watch some videos as well. So this is some of the different shapes where you can see almost 90-degree angles over on the sides and the corners where we're pointing the laser pointer at it, flat across the bottom very strangely, and then across the top as well. And sometimes the geometric shape appears to extend above the top of the mesa as well, very strangely, like it's suspended like a plasma into the sky. We also have these wedge shapes that are flat and angled on the sides, these long rectangular shapes that are also flat and then curved over on the edges, angled kind of obtuse shapes that are flat along the bottom. Some are very rugged and they look just like a tear or a rip in reality, almost like the mesa's on fire. And there are even times where it looks like a lava flow or a mudslide coming down. Looking at it with your own vision and your own eyes, it's not as yellow as what you see on the night vision. What you see with your own eyes is more like a white glowing aura, almost like looking at the northern lights or like a glitch in the matrix. It's like a plasma field appearing, fluorescent bulb above or right on top of the rocks and then flowing down, glitching. Sometimes looks like a window into another dimension. It's very, very strange and supernatural to sit there and witness. Other times, instead of just being up on the mesa like this, we see it appearing like it pops up on the ground from this perspective right here. So I put these overlays so you could see it almost coming up out of the ground like fingers or entities or something like popping up. And we'll see some video of when that happens as well. So overall, on the first night, I got over 30 minutes of activity as well as repeated visits back to the location. There's 3 witnesses plus a dog on the first visit. Plus I've gone back on my own several times as well as during the day. You have visual confirmation during the daytime. You can totally see it even from a distance. You can look around and see that there's no other vehicles, there's no UTVs, there's nobody with a spotlight or flashlight. You can go across the ravine, which I've done, looked around in all directions 360, seen the phenomenon appear, and there's no explanation. It just seems like, I don't know how to describe it, a supernatural appearance upon the side of the hill. It's very strange. But there's also over 10 years of family history and reported activity on the location from people that have lived there and around the location, as far as seeing UFOs, orbs, shadow figures moving around, light entities coming right up to people and coming right down the mesa, and even strange animal sightings, seeing like a herd of buffalo and all sorts of different things. The ancient historical significance of this location could date back with the petroglyphs and other signs there over 8,000 years. And so we'll look into some of that during the presentation tonight as well. So one of the things that we're going to do first is watch a full 7-minute video so you can get a real sense of the phenomenon as it happens live. So here we go. Welcome to the Carl the Crusher channel, and I want to introduce you guys to a very secret and special spot that has now been named the Magic Mesa. This is in a significant location that I've been researching for like the last year, where I've been tracing down the ancient legends that have to do with giants and petroglyphs, UFOs, all kinds of ancient historical myths and mysteries from thousands of years ago that seem to point to some sort of supernatural explanation. The first time that we came to the property, they basically just showed me where it was at and didn't witness anything. And so I thought, I'm going to come back on a random time and actually bring my professional gear. I'm going to bring a REM pod, night vision, laser pointers and things like that, and really do a thorough investigation and not tell anybody when I'm going to come here. What ended up happening, and the result of that night from like 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. was we witnessed geometric light forms and shapes appear on this mesa out of seemingly nowhere. We've debunked that it could be headlights in the distance or some kind of a spotlight or reflection phenomenon, but what we saw was clear geometric shapes. We saw clear 90-degree angle squares appear on the mesa up over on this side that had to have been 100-foot tall or over 50-foot tall, and across huge giant squares up in this corner. This is a REM pod we've got on the ground, and it is going bonkers. What in the world is it doing? Whoa, dude! We just saw it a second ago completely light up. Yeah, that whole left side. Uh-huh. There it is. There it is. Right here. Look, it just appeared. What is going on? Look at that. It's a perfect square flashing on and off on the side of the hill. It's moving across the mesa to the right. It's spreading to the right. It's coming down the hill like an avalanche. I'm getting it all on camera. It's spreading like a mud flow. The whole mesa is lit up. Now it's gone. Gone! What the hell was that? This is for real. There it is, see it? Yeah. The whole side of the mesa is lit up. This whole lower section. Oh, there's my portable speaker. It's just moving around. What is going on?
There it is.
Big square, see that? The big square. I can
Whoa.
see it. Vision there. See it? Oh, look at that! See it? Look at that! Pulsing.
It looks like.
Look at that square.
It's got like a defined edge right here.
Yeah. It's coming down the mesa. Look at it. And
The whole mesa's lit
the
up.
whole mesa's lit up. You see it on camera?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
The whole thing's lit up. It's like an iridescent glow. And gone.
Oh, there were shadows going across it.
What?
Yeah.
What is going on?
That is crazy.
Are we at the edge of where like two parallel dimensions are rubbing together like a thin spot? Like
Just jump through.
crawl up there and go check it out. Go say hi to that shadow thing up there moving around.
Check it the day
It's
first.
still going.
Yeah.
It's still all the way up on the left side.
Oh, that shadow. Oh my God, that shadow. Oh, that was crazy. Yeah, that was crazy. Wow, it is so bright.
Well, I can see where I'm pointing. This whole thing. Oh, I tried to zoom in and now the light's fading. See this? There's this thing here, and then there's something here. Oh, whoa, whoa! I just saw a shadow move really quick across the bottom. Look at that! Okay, and I'm gonna request a triangle, like with telepathy in my mind, like remote viewing.
Alright, I'll do it.
You do it too?
Yeah.
There it is. That's a triangle. A triangle. That is an upside down triangle right there. See it? That is a triangle.
I'm mind
Now it's a square. It's like a window. It's seriously like just like a glowing, it looks like an opening, and then there's a brighter flash coming across the center. It's like pulsating, but then there's, oh my gosh, there's like a whole yellow, a different color, and it's coming down.
Can you see my point?
You totally, yeah, you're right on it. The sound of the cars at all. Tons of lights right across the bottom.
Yeah.
Right on the ground. That was right on the ground. I got that on camera. It really doesn't look like a whole lot here in the daytime when you're standing here. It just looks like this beautiful mountainside that you want to go up and hike around and look at. But at nighttime, this whole thing comes alive, almost like a neon light show. And what's really weird, it seems to respond to what you're thinking about and what you're doing in the area. And the family that lives here that brought me to this location has been experiencing this for like over a decade now. It seems so unassuming here in the daytime, but I promise you it was one of the most strange, paranormal, supernatural things I've ever experienced in my life, and it went on for hours. And the family here is really amazing, and they've given me permission and access to bring a team of professionals, doctors, scientists, PhD people to actually come here and do some real scientific research. When you first look at it, the initial reaction that people are going to have is that it could be just headlights in the distance from over the hill cast at the mesa. Maybe there's somebody with a projector or spotlights making shadow puppets in the distance or something like that. Maybe there is like a projector. It could be fluorescent rocks, bioluminescent fungus, or algae. There could be a lot of different theories and explanations for this. It could be a geological anomaly like crystal compression. They call that the piezoelectric effect, when you take quartz crystal and you push it together and it can glow very similar to this. So I'm open to all the different ideas and plausibilities, you know, but off the bat, a lot of people just think, oh, it's headlights. This is a truck or a UTV, game camera, getting animals running in front. But you can make up your own mind as we get further into the presentation and you see the evidence and the research that's ongoing. It could be also that there's some ancient relic technology, like maybe buried in the mesa or associated with it, especially when I show you guys the ancient Native American relic significance and the rituals that were being done here specifically are in line and in path with where the phenomenon appears. And I think that's very significant. It is to me anyways. It could also be that there's earth energy lines. That's one of the things that I've heard. Maybe places of dimensional compression or like capacitors form in certain geological areas. Could be an underground aquifer or cavern of flowing water, creating some kind of an effect. Maybe there's a pool of mercury there. Who knows? If you want to get a little bit more far out there as far as UFO, extraterrestrial type, ultra-dimensional theories, you've got the ideas like similar to Mount Shasta and other locations, especially like up in the Uinta Basin where I am at the UFO Disclosure Symposium. You have places like Skinwalker Ranch, Blind Frog Ranch with the energy zone. We've seen the glowing mesa type phenomena appear at Skinwalker Ranch, although I can't claim any affiliation or association there. But we've seen, you know, like a good 4 seconds of security camera of a similar type of glowing, unidentified fluorescent mesa phenomena appearing in other very strange paranormal locations as well. So could it be ancient abandoned alien technology or some kind of ultra-terrestrial crossover dimensional portal where there's supernatural entities? I don't know. But there does seem to be similar occurrences going on here that we get on camera as far as shadow figures and shapes. It could be, is it skinwalkers or does it have some sort of esoteric significance? So we're going to get into all that. But let's start with the basic ones like headlights or shadows from a distance. Could it be a spotlight or projectors, maybe fluorescent rocks, a bioluminescent fungus or algae? When you see the phenomenon with your own eyes, it actually appears less like a yellow glow. It's more like a white golden color. And when it's flowing and moving down the mesa towards you, it's almost very like ghosts or something moving, like a very strange plasma energy. But when you look at the phenomenon itself, you can see clear edges, defined glowing, and it's like an on and off effect. It's very strange and supernatural to witness with your own eyes. And you compare that to like a spotlight, which we did shine on the mesa, and you see here. And that is just like, you can see where it hits the mesa. You can turn around and see where the beam comes from. You could see bugs flying through the light. You can see it with your own eyes. You can see the sagebrush and everything, the fence down in front of you. If it was headlights off in the distance, you'd be able to turn around and look and see where it's coming from. And I've even gone up and looked full circle where there could be any kind of source of origin or place of light where it could come from. And there just is no explanation for where this strange phenomenon appears. Like you see here, when we put a spotlight on the mountain, you can see where the light's coming from. You can see the beam where it's coming from, the source of origin, where it's hitting the mountain, and where it casts light down in the valley below. Even if this was happening farther away, if it was a light further away in the distance, the ability to get defined, clear glowing edges and shapes, triangles, squares, and all that without seeing a point of origin is just impossible and ludicrous and just like stupid to me. So what we're going to watch next is me actually debunking and going back to this location where I show you guys exactly how this looks different when you are looking at it with headlights from my Ford Raptor pickup truck. I have these high beam LED headlights that I can flip on and shine it right on the mountain. And then you see the phenomena appear underneath my headlights as I'm turning them on and off. So I don't know how you can explain this, but let's go ahead and give it a shot here. Okay, now I am pointed directly at the mesa there. You can see it right there, and my headlights are pointed at it. Oh, you can actually see some of the glow over on the right there. Okay, I'm going to turn my Baja lights on. Let's see if this is it. Ready? That's what actual headlights look like. Pointed at the mesa and glowing on it itself. That's my truck headlights through the night vision. Right there. Okay, so that's what that looks like. Let me turn these back off again. Turn my truck off again. Ah, there it is. Look, see? Glowing square. It's totally different. Look, I got the proof right there. It's not headlights. I just shined the truck headlights right on it and it doesn't do that. What in the world? Wow, look. I can see that with my own eyes. Yeah, I can see it. Whoa! Whoa! Okay, that was crazy. Can you see the difference between headlights now and the phenomenon on the mesa? Wow.
Whoa, it's coming down the mountain. Wow. I still haven't turned off the camera. See, I'm still by my truck. Turning around. There's no headlights. There's no cars. There's nothing. Look, there it is. The whole mesa's glowing. What? Weird. Wow, it is really bright right now because I wonder, wow. And now it's off. Okay, so there it is. There's the difference. So look, I'm still filming in one take. I haven't stopped. Here's the truck. Here's the head. I'm going to turn it back on again. Here's my truck lights. Doesn't look the same at all. Still one take. I haven't edited, I haven't cut. There it is. With the headlights in the foreground. Wow! What is it? If that isn't proof of the difference between headlights and some kind of a glowing mountain effect or mesa, I don't know how to tell you the difference. That was pretty obvious, you guys. That was pretty obvious.
Okay, so to me that was pretty obvious, right? I can tell the difference big time between what you're seeing right here, which is my headlights from the pickup truck shining directly on the mesa itself. So you can see bugs flying through the beam, you can see pollen, you can see tons of dust in the air, you can see the point of origin where the headlights are coming from, where the Baja lights are. Even from a distance you would be able to see it clearly. It lights up the foreground, the brush underneath, all of that is clearly visible. And you compare that to like when I turn the headlights off and you see it like almost like a strange glitch in the matrix appearing across the top of the mesa, like in zigzags. Also right here you have like a zigzag going over the top of what looks like a square almost underneath. It's very strange and clearly not associated with headlights from a vehicle. If there was headlights clear in the distance shining over and hitting the mountain from a spotlight or headlights or a UTV or a porch light or something like that, you would be able to see the point of origin, see where it was coming from, turn around, look at it, film it with the night vision, see the bugs flying through the beam. So, I mean, pretty much have debunked that. So now let's talk about fluorescent rocks or algae. Maybe there's some kind of a bioluminescent effect. So what I did was I went back to the location again and I checked it with the black light. So let's go ahead and check on this other footage here where I went back and looked at it with a black light. Let's see.
Here we have it. Here's the mesa itself. I'm actually really up close to it. Okay, here goes the black light test. Here's the black light. Wow, you can see that very clearly. It's going all the way. You can see the bugs and everything flying around. It does not seem to cause any kind of reaction to the geology on the mesa itself. No reflections. No fluorescing lights. It doesn't seem to have anything to do with this. There it is, coming down the mesa. I'm the only one here to witness this right now. So it is repeatable, guys. This is a few nights later. Oh my gosh. Okay. Going to try again here with the black light. This time when I see the phenomenon appearing. The glowing mesa phenomenon. I don't know what it is. Oh, I can see it with my bare vision. I can see it. Whoa, the whole hillside glowing. It just rippled like a wave all the way down into the valley. I'm going to try to use the black light when I see the actual flow itself, but that was an actual, like a white aura that flowed down the mountain. In my naked vision, I could see it.
I want to show you guys exactly what happened when Paul Hynek actually contacted the Psionics night vision camera company, because we had some questions. We were like, is this something, you know, that is, we're just catching an anomaly with the night vision and somehow it could be explained that way. But we got a response from the night vision company saying, hi Bill, thanks, we're going to continue to find explanations, but it's helpful to know there's nothing obvious from your end. Cheers, Paul. And then they said, hi, Paul. Well, I think you have us stumped. So Bill, from head of customer care at the night vision company, said that we have them stumped. They watched the same footage that you guys have seen there, and that was the Psionics official reply when we sent them. But with the night vision camera, they didn't know what it is. They can't explain it through their night vision equipment. When I use the black light, it doesn't seem to be any kind of bioluminescent rocks. We could still get access to the land and do soil samples and things like that, but there's still ongoing research to be done. But so far, not even the night vision company can come up with an explanation and says, you know, well, I think you have us stumped here. One of the other things that could be possible is this idea that it's a crystal geology, like a piezoelectric effect. In this location, there is regional evaporative crystal geology. That means like just like salt evaporates from salt water and then appears as a crystal salt formation. You could have some of that crystal geology going on in this location. There's also a lack of magnetic geology going on as well. There is chemical evaporative gypsum here in the location, and when we check the magnetic anomaly maps from the North American government, which look like this, and you zoom in on the location, it falls into the yellow area, which is in the mid to low range. So the magnetic spectrum doesn't seem to have any kind of a play on the phenomenon appearing. The piezoelectric effect is when you have crystals that compress and then seem to glow. That's something that's a very interesting phenomenon that could explain this if there's some kind of a large crystal formation within the mountain that under tectonic plate pressures it might kick on and glow, just like you see in this before and after picture here, which kind of looks similar. So I could maybe see that as well. Excuse me, as far as the ancient myths go, there is a lot of folklore that revolves around ancient giants, ant people coming from that have to do with the underground, alternate dimensions, supernatural encounters, portals opening, and all sorts of good and bad interactions and everything in between. And so you have to kind of keep your mind open to all of that. That's how I got on the trail of this location, is by looking at locations that have ancient petroglyphs and trying to have an open mind instead of just taking the given explanations and what people tell me what all these mean. I try to think outside the box, like if I just go look at these symbols and follow them almost like clues, what do they tell us and what could they mean and what's going on at these other locations, like up here in the basin, and strange locations like the Hestelin lights of Project Blue Book that J. Allen Hynek was studying. And so what I've been looking at is the ancient petroglyphs around the region. What do they point to? Is there some kind of a story here? Why do they seem to have these same shapes and formations? A lot of people think they're plasma forms and shapes that were up in the sky. Well, maybe they're not up in the sky. Maybe they're down on the ground and more personal. So you have a lot of different petroglyphs around the region from Utah, Nevada, Arizona that seem to depict lots of strange things. And I've been searching this. There's entities and beings, all kinds of strange shapes and figures that you see in the rocks and carvings. Some of them are holding staffs. They seem to have horns or headdresses and strange things like that associated with them. A lot of the shapes are very similar. They look like, some people think that they're Kachina dolls or supernatural beings. Sometimes they look like spaceships or people with beings with antennas and all kinds of strange stuff. You see all sorts of stuff and similar themes. You can make up your own mind what you think some of these shapes look like. Now, this is an actual shot of the mesa itself that you see in the distance. In the foreground, you see these swirl-like portal patterns that all line up and point. Now, if I showed you exactly the petroglyphs that are in this area, it would completely give away where this location is, that we're trying to keep it a secret. But these petroglyphs lining up with the mesa is just one of dozens of very significant ancient artifacts and petroglyphs and things in this area that point to the mesa being something of actual historical significance. Here we have actual ancient pottery that is discovered. This was up on top of the ravine on the opposite side of the mesa, so evidence of ancient dwelling. Here's ancient pottery that someone has like stacked up on the rocks here. Here it is, this like wedge rock coming out of the earth with pottery stacked up at the base. Just like an amazing, mind-blowing, beautiful place to be. Here's pottery that we found down in the valley at the base of the mesa, kind of below. Some other pottery here, just beautiful painted pottery laying right on top of the ground. This is an ancient ceremonial wheel. This is a Native American ritual wheel that was found down in the valley below. You can see this from the petroglyphs up above behind you across the ravine. And this is the mesa right in front of this ancient ceremonial wheel. And we're going to talk about that because I feel like this is very important and tied directly to where the lights and this sort of crazy plasma shape is appearing and taking shape on the side of the hill. So here you have an overhead view of the mesa. Here is down in the valley below this ancient ceremonial wheel of time. It looks like a wagon wheel on the ground where ancient ceremonial rituals were done. Then on top of the mesa, when you zoom in, look what I found as well. Another one up on top of the mesa. So what I did when you zoom back out is I drew a line from the one down in the valley below on the right to the one on the mesa above up on the left. And when you draw a straight line and make a path between one ceremonial ritual wheel down in the valley below and the one up above, it just happens to fall on a direct path and a line where when you're standing down below, you see the phenomena appear on the mesa itself directly in line where these rituals were being done. And I believe this to be very significant. So if you were doing ceremonies to the arrow on the right on that ritual wheel, and then someone was up on the mesa on the one to the left, walking circles around it, doing a ritual dance and ceremony, right in the path in between those two on the hillside is where you see this phenomena appearing, this portal or dimensional opening occur, whatever you want to call it. So is that associated right in line and in path with the phenomena itself? I feel like it's very significant, especially in my research. So as you're standing here at the ceremonial Native American Wheel of Time, that ceremonies were done around this wheel in order to do it in conjunction with the North Star, with Ursa Major, Polaris moving around the North Star, and the Wheel of Time on top of the mesa itself. You would see this phenomena appearing in between the two wheels, right in conjunction on the path of where these rituals were being performed. I feel like that's significant. They would have painted the wheel in primitive times like this, and they do that in modern times today, where you have white to the north, black to the west, yellow to the south, and red to the east. And you would have had the center of the wheels be right here in the valley, and then on top of the mesa, right exactly in line where the phenomena seems to appear. This is what you see other examples of the wheel in the, you have dream catchers, ritual wheels on the ground, and also headdresses in all sorts of different varieties. You can look up the medicine wheel or Sundance circle or sacred hoop is an ancient sacred symbol used by many tribes. Signifies earth boundaries as well as knowledge of the universe. It also symbolizes balance to your own personal soul as well. We also have the fact that it revolves and symbolizes the Big Dipper going around the North Star. It directly correlates to Earth and time and spatial movement and our sense of reality as human beings. It gets mistaken a lot of times in its movement and the symbols. It got mistaken for the swastika, as you have the North Star going, or the Big Dipper going around the North Star. But that is basically the Wheel of Time, or the circle, the wagon wheel going around the North Star. And it has ancient significance all over the world. In fact, in Tibet, you see it in the wheel of the Kala Chakra Mandala ceremony that the Dalai Lama does. And this also looks very similar to the Mesoamerican calendar that you see, the Mayan calendar. And so you see even on this depiction here, wheels of time, chariots of time. This also symbolizes going around the North Star with the Big Dipper and controlling portals and openings and gateways into different aspects of heaven. So like you see in Asia, they would have done circular dances or paths or walks around the wheel on the ground as the Big Dipper's going around Polaris in the sky. And this was meant to open up portals or dimensions of reality into heaven, or to communicate with supernatural beings. And it would have been done and performed by shaman anciently throughout the world. It's a very fascinating ritual, and we find it here at the Magic Mesa. Is it possible that ancient primitive people could have been doing rituals around the wheel in the valley and on top, in conjunction with the story and the petroglyphs on the cliffside up above, and that they either found this anomaly on the mesa that was occurring naturally and then built their rituals on top of it? Or is it possible that the rituals themselves had some kind of real magic to them and created the phenomenon on the mesa itself? We also have evidence of conscious communication, where shapes seem to manifest and appear after specific meditation, and following CE5 protocol was also used once on repeat visits and making requests like, can you appear as a triangle? It seems like those patterns seemed to appear when they were requested. So let's go ahead and watch the evidence of that.
So this is what's really odd, is I just did like a really short 10-second meditation and set my intention to see a square, and it instantly appeared. Spreading to the right. Whoa. It looks like waves moving across.
Coming down too. Going. Especially hey.
Okay, and I'm going to request a triangle like with telepathy in my mind, like remote viewing. You do it too.
Yeah.
There it is. That's a triangle. A triangle. That is an upside down triangle right there. See it? That is a triangle.
I'm mind changed.
Now it's a square. Thank you. Thank you.
You guys are doing a good job.
Well, I don't even know what we're communicating with right now, but that was pretty dope. It totally gave us a triangle,
Yeah.
right?
Really likes the squares though.
It did. It's a pulsating triangle right here. See that? I don't know how. I don't have any explanation for this. Okay, should we request? There's this perfect square.
So crazy.
Oh no, it's the whole top.
Let's make it move down. I like doing it.
Yeah. Come to the bottom of the hill. It's like a window. It's seriously like just like a glowing, it looks like an opening, and then there's a brighter flash coming across the center. It's like pulsating, but then there's, oh my gosh, there's like a whole yellow, a different color, and it's coming down. Thank you. It's doing what we asked. It's coming down like an avalanche again, like that mudslide effect. Well, there's layers to it. There's this, there's two layers. See, there's this greenish yellow over layer, and then there's this deeper solid layer. I can't explain what's going on here. Look at the whole ridge line there now is glowing.
It just looks like a strip.
It's like a strip blinking on and off there. See that? I'm just here by myself tonight. If this place responds to intention, it would be amazing if you could give me a glowing shape on the side of the mesa like last time I was here. That looks like a triangle again. I feel like I could see a triangle. If you're beginning to show me the light, thank you. There it is. Thank you. There was nothing going on and now it's appearing. Okay, thank you for letting me film this. If there is some kind of an intuitive response here, because I just asked and now I can see it. There it is. Okay, I've got my phone here. Look at what my phone does when I try to film. It flashes lights. Oh, there it is, coming down the mesa. I'm the only one here to witness this right now. So it is repeatable, guys. This is a few nights later. Oh my gosh. Okay.
There you have it. When I went back to check it and tried to actually communicate with the mesa, you get this strange effect. You can make up your own mind. It could be total coincidence that I'm able to talk to the mesa and somehow it appears to respond to requests. I don't know how to explain that or describe what's going on there. All I know is I can go back and test it and keep trying. So we'll try other shapes, get more interaction. There's a lot more to do at this location. You can make up your own mind based on the evidence and how it rolls forth. The other thing that we witness a lot of times, especially reviewing the footage, is what appears to be shadow shapes and figures. This matches descriptions that you hear occurring at other locations, like where some sort of a shape of light seems to appear and then a shadow creature like crawls out at the bottom. We have what seems to be evidence of that occurring in this footage as well. Seems to respond to a laser pointer where nothing is occurring, and then as soon as the laser pointer gets close, seems to take off, sometimes rapidly, sometimes like it's annoyed with the laser pointer. The shadows are also darker than the ambient darkness of the shadow around, so it's very strange as well. We also see figures of light and orbs of light that seems to appear on the mesa and come up out of the ground, or almost pop up and almost like they're taking a look at you from behind the rocks, and that's very strange as well. So let's go ahead now and watch the video that seems to show compilations and slow motion replays of a lot of the shadow figures all in one shot. So here we go with the shadow figures.
It's spreading like a mud flow. Do you see that?
Uh-huh.
The whole mesa is lit up. Now it's gone. Gone! The whole mesa is lit up. Now it's gone. Gone!
That's it.
See it?
Oh,
look at that! See
my.
it? Look at that! Pulsing. What is that?
It's like there's a fire up there or something.
It's going up. See it going up?
Yep, oh yeah, that's
Moving
great.
up.
Your laser was perfectly on it. That is crazy.
Wow, it's like it's spreading, right?
Yeah.
To the right, like it looks like it's on fire on the right side.
It looks like
Look at that square.
it's got like a defined edge right here.
Yeah. Look at it,
Holy cow.
flashing up and down, spreading. It's coming down the mesa. Look at it. And
The whole mesa's lit
the
up.
whole mesa's lit up. You see it on camera?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is crazy.
The whole thing's lit up. It's like an iridescent glow. And gone.
Oh, there were shadows going across it.
What?
Yeah.
What is going on?
That is crazy.
Are we at the edge of where like two parallel dimensions are rubbing together like a thin spot? Like
Just jump through.
crawl up there and go check it
Yeah, no
out.
kidding.
Go say hi to that shadow thing up there moving
I'm
around.
checking the day
It's
first.
still going.
Yeah.
It's still all the way up on the left side.
Oh, that shadow. Oh my God, that shadow. Oh, that was crazy. Yeah, that was crazy.
Like just jump through. Crawl up there and go check it out. Go say hi to that shadow thing up there moving around.
Checking the day
It's
first.
still going.
Yeah.
It's still all the way up on the left side.
Oh, that shadow. Oh my God, that shadow.
Like
Just jump through.
crawl up there and go check it
Yeah, no
out.
kidding.
Go say hi to that shadow thing up there moving
I'm
around.
checking the day
It's
first.
still going.
Yeah.
It's still all the way up on the left side.
Oh, that shadow. Oh my God, that shadow. That was crazy. Yeah, that was crazy. Well, I tried to zoom in and now the light's fading. See this? There's this thing here and then there's something here. Oh, whoa, whoa, I just saw a shadow move really quick across the bottom.
That's where I was seeing those shadows.
This thing here, and then there's something here. Oh, 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 I just saw a shadow move.
The sound of the cars at all. Tons of lights right across the bottom.
Yeah.
Right on the ground. That was right on the ground.
Okay, So now you got to see the shadow figures as well, or shapes. Some people just immediately say, oh, that looks just exactly like cars driving across like lights in the distance or whatever. But you know, when you're there and you look 360 and you debunk it, you've tested with headlights, you see it for yourself, it doesn't seem to make any sense that it would be anything like that, any kind of like headlights or whatever. So it's we're trying to debunk it from every different kind of angle and perspective that you can imagine. But this is just putting the information out there. You can make of it what you will and analyze it however you want. I'm trying to debunk the headlights and go back and show you all the esoteric evidence as well. But the point is that the research is absolutely ongoing. We're trying to form a professional team right now in order to bring more professional experts into the location so we can get multiple witnesses, fly drones up there, do all sorts of ongoing thing. We want to document as much of it as we can and share it with everybody possible in every way that we can. We have to do that by improving our equipment, expanding the team, and then being able to share the research. In order to do that, we have to raise the funding in order to do that. Otherwise, I have to pay for all of it just on my own. So one of the ways that you can do that is by subscribing to my YouTube channel, following the ongoing research that we're doing there around the region, up in the Uinta Basin, and everything going on. That's how you can help support my work as well as my podcast over on Carl Vibe. I also have a website where you can keep track of posts, blogs, newsletters, things like that, as well as you can purchase merch. I have blogs where I'll be posting updates about the Magic Mesa, as well as I also have a Patreon page where for as little as $1 a month up to like $30 a month, you can help donate for fuel and fund the research and be a supporter of the Magic Mesa project to help bring other people in, to help improve the night vision, to help send soil samples off, to help pay for gas in order to get there and do overnight expeditions and to do all sorts of that. So you can also find the Patreon there as well in order to participate. And there's a lot of insider bonuses, access, features, and benefits, as well as on-screen shout-outs if you become a Patreon supporter to the Mystery at Magic Mesa project. So this has been my presentation of the Mystery at Magic Mesa up to now. There is so much more evidence and research ongoing that I actually have already uncovered and recorded on repeated visits back to the site that are fascinating. I just haven't had time to squeeze it all in. It's hard to get it all in just 1 hour. But I appreciate everybody's feedback, support. If you want to get involved in the project, please show the love, subscribe to my YouTube channels and everywhere that you can, and support the Patreon. I appreciate you guys for your time, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
You ready?
There is a connection between the paranormal, UFOs, and the myths of ancient history. The clues are scattered across the landscape from a forbidden past, maybe even in your own backyard. There is a connection between the true nature of our reality, consciousness, and the unexplained. I'm Carl the Crusher. Let's explore the unknown.